Hello everyone, it's Laffy Traffy. Back with another One Piece manga versus anime review. I know it's been a while, but these videos do take a long time to make, but we're here to see how well the Arlong Park Arc, that's hard to say, was adapted into the anime and see what differences there are between the two mediums. If you haven't yet, check out the beginning of this series where I start with the Romance Dawn arc of One Piece. I'm going episode by episode, so it's a long journey, but I hope you come along for the ride. For those episodes that don't have significant differences, we're just gonna fly by those though, so we're just gonna look at the ones that change the experience compared to the manga, pretty much. I just want to dissect how different of an experience it can be to read the manga versus only having watched the anime, which is how I originally consumed One Piece. But now, with that all out of the way, let's take a look at Arlong Park. We'll be covering episodes 31 through 45 here, which correspond to chapters 69, nice, and 96. But we start off with episode 31, The Worst Man in the Eastern Seas, Fishman Pirate Arlong. Starting off Arlong Park, we learn a bit about the Warlords of the Sea. We get these ominous silhouettes of the so-called Warlords, and this is just a great episode to start out with, honestly. I mean, yeah, can't you see them? There's Mihawk, of course. There's Kuma. Oh yeah, Boa is clearly that one. They introduce Jinbei officially here, at least in name in the manga. The anime includes a silhouette of so-called Jinbei here, so you can really get an idea of what he's like later on in the series. Really though, I think they just made a bunch of different Mihawks, since he's the only one we were introduced to at this point. I mean, this exact image is in the manga as well, so it's not just an anime thing. Jinbei's silhouette here though just looks so wrong to anyone who knows who Jinbei is at all. Moving on, the next very important difference in this scene is that after they talk about the Warlords and Arlong and whatever, not important. Sanji asks what everyone wants for lunch, and Luffy says meat right off the bone, no issue. But the difference here is that Yosuke asks for stir-fried bean sprouts, but in the anime, he says sauteed bean sprouts. Sure, some might just hand-wave this or blame it on the dubbed, but it really takes away from the consistency of his character. Honestly, really bad choice on the anime. I don't know why they did this. Anyway, fast forwarding, we see Nami take out her weapon out of her boobs in the anime, not just her belt like in the manga, but that tracks. You can see we're covering the really important stuff here in this video. Anyway, Nami's return to Arlong in the manga seems to imply that she does feel bad for betraying her most recent scam, Luffy and crew. But the anime has her commenting on the gullibility and stupidity of people. This gives a much harsher portrayal of Nami in the anime versus the manga, because in the manga you can almost see how she is honestly feeling bad, but she's trying to cover it up. The last little difference is Nami's tattoo is revealed when she first talks with Arlong, whereas the anime has it shown on her arm, but it isn't spotlighted until she purposefully shows it to Zoro. The anime makes it a lot more dramatic for Zoro because that's pretty convincing that she shows him her tattoo, and hard to deny that she hasn't been playing them from the start. So I like the reveal of Nami's tattoo in the anime better. Episode 32, Witch of Kokoyashi Village, Arlong's female leader. This episode switches up events of the manga for the better in my opinion. It skips back and forth between the events of a few different chapters of 70 and 73, with Usopp's adventures and switching to the rest of the crew, but it makes it easier to follow in the anime instead of showing some things in flashbacks like in the manga. The other difference in this episode is in the manga, when Zoro is asked about all his bandages, he makes a joke about running out of laundry. In the anime though, he tells Nami that he forgot his shirt and he put the bandages on so she wouldn't get distracted. Wow, risque. Much funnier interaction in the anime. Episode 33, Usopp Dead? When is Luffy going to make landfall? The anime actually shows how Usopp got caught, and it sets up his fight with Chu, too, as Chu is the one who captures him. There's a scene where Usopp and Nami are being interrogated by Arlong's crew, so to show she's not one of Luffy's crew, she cracks Usopp on the head with her staff. She does this purely out of desperation to prove herself loyal to Arlong. In the anime, however, it shows Usopp taking out some ammo, implying that he's about to attack and try to escape, which Nami knew would probably get him killed, so she struck him in the same manner. This also helped prove her loyalty, but it shows even more evidence that she cares for Usopp and the rest. When she stabs him, he falls into the water himself in the anime, and in the manga it's much more convincing that Usopp is dead because we get a close-up shot of Usopp really looking dead before Nami kicks him into the water herself. A lot more brutal. When the topic of her secret treasure map is brought up, Arlong reacts to it much more negatively in the anime, as he looks quite unnerved by it. But in the manga, the rest of the Fishmen all start calling Nami a betrayer until Arlong settles everyone down and just tells them to give her map back, not seeming to be worried about it. For this scene, the anime makes it a little bit more foreshadowy that, Nami's gonna betray and things are gonna go sour, whereas in the manga, it really just depicts Arlong as being confident that Nami isn't going to betray him. Or you could look at it like Arlong already had his plan set up in place, which he probably did, and he didn't care if she was hiding her treasure because he was confident that the Marines were going to find it. The whole map scene occurs after Usopp is stabbed in the manga, but happens in front of him in the anime. Now, an important change of events occur at the end of this episode. Usopp is actually revealed to be alive at the end, much sooner than he's revealed in the manga to be alive. This kinda takes away from the suspense in later scenes. He's wrapped up in a blanket, which maybe that was the anime's attempt at concealing the truth, but he talks and it's obviously Usopp, so I don't know what they're doing. Episode 34. Everyone's gathered. Usopp speaks the truth about Nami. So, once again, the title itself is a spoiler for the fate of Usopp. But it's already showed that he was alive in the last episode, so I guess it doesn't really matter, does it? Now we get to Nami's confrontation with the crew, which occurs before Usopp is known to be alive by the readers in the manga. This makes the scene much more convincing because, unlike in the anime, even the readers are kept into the dark about Nami's true motives and what happened to Usopp. I mean, I'm sure reading this, you may be hesitant to believe that Nami straight up killed Usopp and the manga totally had you convinced, but the uncertainty at least makes the confrontation scene more serious. I wish the anime didn't spoil Usopp's scene like that. Hachi has a moment in the anime where he seems surprised by Arlong's deal with Nami, which after several years you'd think he'd know what was going on. It's not like it was a secret. And the excuse of the anime needing exposition to talk about Nami's map doesn't even apply since they were already on the topic of how valuable Nami is to their crew. And finally, the anime adds some nice scenes of Nami thinking back to all the fun she had with the crew. It helps show the dichotomy between Nami's actions and her inner thoughts and desires more clearly in the anime. Episode 35, Untold Past, Female Warrior Bellamere. This episode dives into the backstory of Nami, but not before adding an interesting scene of Luffy coming across Hachi, Chu, and Karubi, and then casually walking past them. Sets up some foreshadowing perhaps, but mostly just adds to the badassery of Luffy having no fear, especially in front of Fishman. Going into the backstory, there's a scene where Bellamere changes a shirt with a sunflower into a lion, which is a cute comparison to the Thousand Sunny, where it was first thought to be a sunflower, not a lion. I doubt that was foreshadowing, just a cool comparison. Episode 36, Survive, Mother Bellamere and Nami's Bond. The only difference in this episode is that the corresponding chapter here depicts Bellamere's death much more gruesomely, but that's of course to be expected of the anime considering its target demographic. Not many other differences here though. Episode 37, Luffy Rises, Result of the Broken Promise. Here, Nojiko gets shot, but it's not clear exactly how in the manga. The Marines are ordered to shoot to disperse, and then it cuts to Nojiko on the ground, seemingly shot on accident or on purpose. In the anime, it expands upon this scene. Nami rages after her money is being taken, and Nojiko goes to stop Nami when Marine Captain Nezumi shoots at Nami, but hits Nojiko, who is in front of her. We fast forward a bit to the most impactful scene of the whole arc, arguably the entire East Blue arc, arguably even so to one of the most impactful scenes of the entire series. Just the simplicity of this almost page-sized panel of Nami hits me still. There's a slight difference here that makes the manga a bit more impactful. After Nami gives up and asks for help, Luffy walks off and shouts, "Okay!" without further explanation. The anime has him say a few more lines though of course, that's what friends do, and he's gonna pay. Here, I think less is more. The situation doesn't need to be explained, and his simple, one-worded answer holds a lot more emotional impact for the readers and for Nami. However, the anime comes in with, once again, one of the best moments in the entire series here, with the walk to Arlong Park. The manga does not have any walking in it. It merely goes from the crew agreeing to go, to Yasuko and Johnny keeping the villagers out, to Arlong talking, then immediately to Luffy punching the gate open. This is probably one of the best things that the anime could have added to this part of the arc, because, I mean, I could go on and on about the walk, but I bet you already know and share the same opinion of how epic this shot is. Good job, anime. Gotta give you tons of points here. Episode 38. Luffy in Big Trouble. Fishman versus the Luffy Pirates. Interesting that they're not called the Straw Hat Pirates, but nothing big here, just Luffy looking like he was thrown a lot further away in the anime, but that might just be perspective. Episode 39. Luffy Submerged. Zoro versus Hachan the Octopus. Hachi in this episode, and really the arc in total, really gets portrayed much more as a joke character than he is in the manga. A similar issue with Usopp. We do get some extra attacks from Hachi though, so that's nice. Episode 40. Proud Warriors. Sanji and Usopp's Fierce Battles. So I have a big issue with this episode, and this will probably be a continuous issue that I didn't notice until I was reading the manga. Sanji's moves here are supposed to be in French, like they are in the manga, but the English dub translates them into English. So it's not cool at all. He just shouts, back, shoulders, neck, as he attacks, not giving his style of fighting the flavor that originally had in the manga and is supposed to have. And just out of curiosity, I checked the subbed version, and the Japanese voice actor is speaking French for his attacks, so it's only the dubbed that drops the ball here. I mean, Sanji, if he was in the real world, would be French, that's confirmed, so come on, Funimation! You wouldn't have even needed to struggle matching the mouth movements! It's the same words! It takes away so much from his character. Episode 41. Luffy at full power, Nami's determination and the Straw Hat. Again, slight censorship in the anime where Zoro's wounds look really bad in the anime, but even worse in the manga. Holy hell, what is this man? Episode 42. Explosion. Fishman Arlong's fierce assault from the sea. This episode didn't have any changes in it from the manga, but I do just want to shout out this epic scene where Luffy admits to not being able to use swords, navigate, cook, or even lie, and accept that his friends are valuable to him getting to where he is today. And when Arlong says, "Then what can you do?" he replies, "I can beat you. I can kick your ass." Great scene, still to this day gets talked about. Episode 43. End of the Fishman Empire. Nami's My Friend. The manga has Arlong stating that Nami is his crewmate, whereas the anime says friend, which is weird. And I understand that it's most likely a translation error because nakama can be used in both situations, but I feel like they could have just said crew to avoid Arlong saying that Nami's his friend. Doesn't really fit his character. The anime adds a filler scene with Nami drawing a picture of Bellamere that Arlong rips up, which is awful. I mean, come on, we get it. You didn't have to show us that. Episode 44. Setting Out with a Smile. Farewell Hometown Kokoyashi Village. Here, the anime implies that Nami will be setting sail with the Straw Hats before the manga does. That's not a big deal though, because at this point I'd be surprised if anyone reading or watching didn't already know that Nami was for sure going to be the next Straw Hat. There is though a creepy scene of Bellamere here. I mean, it's supposed to be cute and emotional, but it's really just creepy since it's so dark and she's just sitting there appearing out of nowhere. I like the push out the door, like that's cute, but the whole conversation and Bellamere isn't saying anything. is added and it's just creepy. Maybe that's just me though. Episode 45, Bounty. Straw Hat Luffy becomes known to the world. The Straw Hats get their first bounties! And this dressed up Marine guy is very dressed up. I enjoy seeing the early depictions of the Marines and then compare them to how they are now. It's very 90s. The anime adds scenes of previous characters reacting to Luffy's bounty, including Kaya, Kobe, Morgans, Kuro, Zeph, and Full Body. The manga, though, only shows Luffy's hometown reacting to it. And Shanks, but we get that in the anime. Also, for the scene with Morgans, I love how just some random Marine just shows Morgans Luffy's bounty poster to rub it in, I guess, and piss him off. That's hilarious. They also add a filler scene here where Full Body coincidentally comes across Luffy and his crew and tries to fight them, and Luffy just gum bells his ass. But ending with that episode, the crew is making its way to Log Town, the last stop before the Grand Line. And with that episode, that ends Arlong Park. If you've watched previous videos, you might notice that I've been speeding through a few of these episodes because it's kind of hitting me just how many episodes there are, as if I had to really be reminded that there are almost 1,000 episodes of One Piece. But I am trying to be more concise so that I can still do every episode without feeling totally overwhelmed. But if you did make it this far, make sure you leave a like because this took a long time to do, and the more likes I get, the faster that I'll work on the next one, which will be Log Town. Arlong Park is still one of the best arcs, and it really revs up the series, along with the Baratier arc, and so much happens, and it transitions very nicely into the Grand Line. So I had a lot of fun going in depth and looking at the changes between the manga and the anime, and I hope you enjoyed listening to them. Once again, if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button because it helps out a lot. It motivates me to work faster on these big projects because I feel like you guys are liking it. Don't forget you can check me out on Twitch and Twitter for more One Piece gaming and anime content. But with that, we wrap up Arlong Park and the differences between the manga and the anime. So I hope you all have a great day, follow your dreams, and check me next time. Bye!